Kate Hudson.
Woo!
Welcome to Not Gonna Lie.
Not gonna lie, this is fun.
I have to start with a not gonna lie.
Okay.
I've even said it right here on the show, actually very recently. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is one of my favorite movies of all time, but absolutely my favorite rom-com.
Yay! Yes.
It is. We've even considered, this is a hot take, but we've even considered Andy as a name for our fourth girl because we have all like, our first is Wyatt, our second is Elliot, our third is Bennett. And we were like, Andy would fit in there and it would be so cool.
Andy would be so cute.
It's funny. I actually met someone at a pool and we were talking about girl names and they said that they named their daughter Anderson, as in Andy Anderson, and call her Andy.
That is the cutest thing ever.
Isn't it?
I love that.
I know. So
Anderson's a great name for, I
it's
love
so
that.
badass.
But so Ronnie is really named after Ron, her grandfather. We spelt it R-A-N-I, but I call her Ronald.
Yes.
I literally, she answers to, I'm like, Ronald. And she's like, yes. It's the
it's the best.
It's the best.
But if I'm just letting you know, if this one comes out, it's on the list. It's in consideration. But to be fair, we have not come up with anything. How do you feel about people calling you the rom-com queen?
It's a mixed feeling because I now that I'm older, I love it. I think what happens when you sort of have a very successful rom-com, it sort of becomes what people expect of you and want from you. And as an actor, you're sort of like, yeah, but I want to do a million different things. So and as Hollywood goes, they love to put you in a box. They love it. And so I think when you're younger, it's like you don't want to be pigeonholed into this idea that that's what you do. And the second you have success in a rom-com as a woman, it's like they just want you in that so it's like you love it. And then at the same time, you're like, yeah, but I want to do other things. I don't want to just do this all the time.
Don't put me in that box.
Yeah. Don't put baby in the corner.
Now, I just had Chelsea Handler on.
Oh.
And she told me that your mom is one of her career influences and that she grew up wanting to be her daughter. Has she told you that personally?
Oh yeah. She's a self-proclaimed sister. She just said, I'm your sister.
I don't think there's much arguing with her. So that makes sense. It's like she told me and that's what it is now.
I love her so much. She's a wild one. And, which makes sense for our family because we all have a little wild hair up our hiney. And
there you go. So she would fit right in.
And so she fits right in. Yeah.
What was it like, looking up to your mom growing up?
I mean, and I think like anyone who loves their mom, you're growing up, you don't really see anything. You don't see it like from the outside.
That actually leads me into, I would like to ask your input on, obviously it's a completely different level, but we're in the process of raising soon to be 4 little girls. And, with really dad mostly in a situation where we'll be out and about and people will stop him and ask for a picture, mostly in the Philadelphia area. But since doing some other things in Monday Night Football and things like that, it's grown a little bit. Do you have any advice or anything that your parents did or anything that you currently do with your own kids that you find is super important in not necessarily insulating them, but in a sense, protecting them?
There's 2 ways to go. If you're someone who's really wants to keep things private, I think you just make that very clear to whoever it is, whether it be press or whether it be you taking a picture with a fan. It's like when you're with your kids, it's just, I'm with my kids. And I really don't do that when I'm with my kids. I mean, that's kind of what I grew up with. When we would go out to dinner and stuff, that was just my parents' thing. It's like, this is about, sometimes you need to have some boundary because you really need to show your kids that you're attentive to them and that all of the incoming attention isn't really real in a sense. And what I mean by that is that it doesn't feed it didn't feed them. We fed them more, meaning that connection. So sometimes they would like put a boundary down with people. Then there's the other side, which is it can become exhausting, trying to protect your children all the time. Meaning like, at some point there might be a moment where you just go, this is what our life is. And you explain it to them in a way so that they understand that getting validated by other people isn't going to bring you joy, but that this is just a part of what happens when you do something that people recognize. Like, so I think that's kind of what I do. And then, as they get older, they kind of define what their boundaries are, like
And did your mom ever explain it to you? Do you remember?
Well, my parents were really good. Like when we were younger, we moved to Colorado, and it was a much less kind of
chaotic
frontward facing world like LA or New York. But we also traveled a lot with them. Our parents were really good at just being like really kind, but like just always about our family unit. I never felt like I was on display for my family. It was like, this is just what we do. And then none of this really means anything to us if our unit's not strong.
Right. Is there anything that you thought was completely like normal growing up? And then like once you got older, you were like, oh shit, that was not.
No, because I had the kind of parents that were very clear about how not normal and a lot of it was. They were so clear about how privileged our certain experiences were with us. I think that's like the most important thing, It's like you can see it when your kids start to feel a little like, that they're feeling a little different.
Bougie.
Right. Yeah. And our family, we're really good at just knocking that right out. It's like, no.
My husband we both grew up in like a very different situation than we're currently in. And we're both trying to mirror that, like what we had without like stifling.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because my husband every so often will be like, no, that's dad's.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it is dad's.
I earned that.
You won a Golden Globe for Almost Famous in 2001. And I just saw the clip where you were interviewed by Beyonce on the red carpet.
You saw that? Oh my God. I remember it so well because I'll never forget it because they were doing MTV and Beyonce was on the carpet and Andre 3000 was like up in a hotel suite. And I was such a big fan of Destiny's Child and Outkast. And then when I saw Beyonce, I remember looking at her and being like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. That's all I could think was like, wow. And Chris, my ex-husband, loved her, and I was like, oh my, and we were both like, hey, and she's interviewing me. And now I look back, I'm like, it's so crazy. I've been lucky enough to have moments with her throughout our career. We're around the same age and came up together, An
iconic duo, the two of you coming up around the same time and just, I'm serious, like owning your own, like you guys have both just absolutely dominated.
Well, but she's Beyonce, you can't even like
Kate Hudson.
But it's different. Like I look at her and I just, you see, I've seen the evolution in real time,
How does it feel that there are people who would have that same, deep appreciation and sort of awe in their voice when they describe you?
I don't feel it.
It does not register.
Unfathomable. No, it's like, to me, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's almost like I block it out or something. I don't know.
She seems lovely.
She's really wonderful and she's kind and really caring.
So the type of person that you can get excited has had the level of success.
Oh my God. So, yes. And she's awesome. Worked so hard. She works so hard. As you know, with Taylor, this doesn't just come. It comes with real attention to detail and care and real hard work.
Yes. The drive is
profound hard work.
Incredible.
Yeah. It's amazing to know, to see.
to be able to witness it all is very cool.
Yeah.
Have your kids seen any of your movies?
Yeah.
And what's the feedback on that?
I mean, you know what's so fun is that they love the show. Like, my kids binged the show in one day, the Running Point. It's like, you know, which actually makes me really happy because they're boys. They're like teenage. I've got an adult boy, man, and a teenage boy, and they're into it. So, I mean, that's all I can ask for as a like, that's the validation I really needed was that they liked it.
Well, I mean, they're clearly up with the times that, I feel like we're very much, and I've spoken about it a number of times on the podcast, we're very much in a, generational shift of appreciating and understanding not only women participating in sports, but women being within the sports world.
Yeah.
And embracing it in a way where we're like, yeah, she is a boss ass bitch.
Yeah. And also, like, women, there is a place for them in men's sports, like in whether it be in coaching staff or executive, in the front office and things like, you know, I mean, as someone who grew up loving sports, it's like playing it. Yes. And women's sports. Yes. But like, I love sports. I love baseball and football, basketball, but, you know, and I know so many women who are like an encyclopedia of sports.
The same thing with the coach for, in the NHL now, the first female coach in the NHL.
Oh God. Yes.
And to see, honestly, the thing that gets me choked up about that coach is that you have these little girls now going to her games is, on Netflix.
Yes.
For the fans who haven't seen it yet, it is hilarious. You play the president of an LA basketball team loosely based on the life of the Lakers president, Jeannie Buss. And you've said you're a sports fan yourself. Who are your teams that you've rooted for
in life?
Yes.
I grew up in like Elway, Colorado. So when we moved to Colorado, we didn't have an LA football team. The Raiders had already like moved to Oakland when I was little. So we were big Broncos fans. So through and through Bronco, all of us. And then LA was always the Lakers. So we were always big Laker fans and Dodger fans, big Dodger fans, our whole family, huge Dodger fans. Although my dad and I are more Yankee fans, but that's sort of through his godfather was Lefty Gomez, who was a Yankee. And I ended up dating a Yankee and then did a whole World Series run. So I got really tight with the Yankees. Everybody, like from, you know, the owners to the team, you know, all the staff and everybody at Yankee Stadium. And so I just have like such a love for the Yankees organization.
I did see that you got to bring your daughter to set.
I did. Yeah. No, I try to bring my kid. My boys just get bored. You know, Ronnie really loves it. She loves watching it. She loves sitting in front. She has a lot of notes. Like she has a lot to say about the things that I'm doing. She'll ask a lot of questions like, well, why did you do that? Like, why did you go to the desk? Well, why did you pick that up? Well, because I have to pick up my things. She's like, well, yeah, but that doesn't make sense because if you're going to go out of the room, why wouldn't you just leave that in the room? And I'm like, okay, this is getting a little intense.
She's like, here are my notes.
She's like watching everything. There was one joke she didn't think was funny. I was like, did you think that was funny? She was like, no. I was like, oh, okay. It's very, very honest.
I think it is such a cool opportunity, not only for you to bring her to set, but for you to be in a role like this, showing a powerful woman in sports and that she gets to be like, yeah, that's my mom.
I know.
That's so badass. We've obviously talked about motherhood a lot today.
Yeah.
And I ask most of my guests, what is the best piece of motherhood advice that you've ever gotten?
I interviewed this Dr. Shefali. She wrote a book. It's called The Conscious Parent. And Dr. Shefali is a brilliant therapist, but actually Oprah was the person who said, you have to read this book. I did this thing with Oprah right before COVID, and she was like, have you ever read this book? No. She's like, you have to read it. And I read it, of course, because Oprah, I read it immediately, and it was a game changer. And then I called her to come on our podcast. And the thing that really stood out to me is that we really do, our traumas or our childhood, our own traumas come out while raising our kids. Our kids are actually our great healers and our great teachers. And if we allow, it doesn't mean that you don't have boundaries. It doesn't mean that you don't have, certain rules. It doesn't mean that you don't, have a good authority and structure for your kids, so that it creates a safe environment for them. But what it does mean is that you're aware that the things that come up for you are things that you need to be as conscious of as how you're raising your kids, right? So like a good example would be the other day, Bing and I, he's in that teenage phase. We had that headbutt moment of, I want him to do something. He refuses to do it. And in that moment, I got triggered.
Kylie Kelce just gave a response that has fans seriously talking. And it all started with one unexpected question about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. During a recent episode of Not Gonna Lie podcast, Kylie Kelce was deep in conversation when the topic subtly shifted toward fame, relationships, and family life. But then came the moment that caught everyone's attention. The question fans have been waiting for: when will Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce finally get married? Instead of giving a direct answer, Kylie's reaction was noticeably careful, almost strategic. 4. She didn't confirm anything. She didn't deny anything either. But what stood out was how she handled it, shifting the focus back to family values, privacy, and the realities of living in the spotlight. And that's what made this moment so powerful. Because Kylie Kelce, someone incredibly close to Travis Kelce, made it clear without saying it directly. Big decisions like marriage aren't about public timelines. They're personal. Even more interesting, she emphasized how important it is to protect family moments from outside pressure, something that instantly made fans wonder, is there more happening behind the scenes than we know? No dates, no confirmations, just a response that felt very intentional. And now fans are reading between the lines, because when Kylie Kelce speaks this carefully, it usually means something bigger is coming.